Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Frankly Speaking on Fridays podcast. I am your host, Frank Pador. It is currently New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2021, 4:38 p.m. Eastern Time. Like I said, I was going to be here, and you're here, and we're here together. And you know what? That's something special. You know why? Because another week has gone by, but more importantly than that, another year is about to go by. And honestly, I think it's a year that we're okay with closing the door on. 2020, 2021. Oh my God, it's exhausting just thinking about it. It feels like 5 years has gone by within 2. So, you're here. You survived another year of the pandemic. You survived another week of life. You've had some ups, you've had some downs, but you know what? I bet knowing you, you're striving forward. You're improving. That ambition is growing, and your goals are becoming clearer and clearer with each passing day. The more effort that you put into your life, the better the outcome is going to be for yourself. It sucks to work hard, but it's worth it. And that's what I'm doing. That is what my guest here is doing as well with me. And we both hope that you are doing the same. My guest, of course, is the lovely, talented, always available, and the very friendly QueenShelBeast, also known as Shelby. Hello.
Hello.
I probably could have gone through like that whole, she has done this and this and this, and you probably seen her here like they do in like actual interviews, but this isn't an interview.
No.
No, I'm just chatting with a friend.
Yeah.
So, what is this podcast all about? At least for this episode? We're going to talk about our past year. We're going to reminisce the good, the bad, our favorite parts, our least favorite parts, what our goals are, what our hopes are for 2022. And we're going to yuck for, 50 minutes, an hour, whatever we feel is a natural conclusion.
Yeah.
But with that said, and as always on this stream of mine here at Fapism Plays, or even just with the podcast in general, I always commemorate every single podcast with a shot. Here is to you, here is to me, here is to Shelby, and to the podcast. Prost. Whew. Unfortunately, before we begin, we gotta do one more shot real quick. Just because we learned about some very sad news, which kind of hurts us both a little bit. Yeah.
Not sure if you'd heard at this point. You might have. But big news, a big death.
Big death.
Happened today.
Big star.
But the ever-loving and so amazingly talented and sweetheart of a woman, Betty White, passed away today at the age of 99.
99. She was 18 days away before making her 100th birthday.
Yeah.
In a way, of course, I'm taken aback. I saw that, and I don't know if you audibly heard me say no.
Yeah, I heard you say something, and I was like, oh. But it sounded excited, but I'm also like 2 rooms away.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know. And then you came into my room and I was like, no, you're pulling you're bluffing.
Yeah.
You are literally like, I could not believe it. And so on my computer, I look it up and I'm like, no, I'm not happy.
I feel like you took the news exactly how my mother did when my Uncle Mort called her, landline.
Yeah.
And said, hey, so did you hear that Michael Jackson died? And she's like, no. This isn't funny, Mort. This isn't a joke.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not a joke. He passed. So she turned on the news. Yep. First channel.
Everything.
MJ passed. So I can at least know, yes, she's gone. It's unfortunate. I was really hoping she'd make it to 100. But at the same time, at least I know that she died still able to play with Legos.
I suppose. I really honestly suppose. I was just hoping that she'd get to that because, I mean, like, we've all talked her up that she's some immortal being that could just never die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's because we've all talked her up to being such an immortal goddess, essentially.
Essentially.
That it's actually a little hard to take her death. I mean, I've seen a lot of the shit that she's been in.
Yeah.
So that's why I say talented actress and just amazing person. She's a sweetheart, loves animals to death.
Lovely sense of humor.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because like when her husband passed away, she didn't really want to marry because, I mean, it was the love of her life. And she actually went into starting to help animals. So, I mean, and that was like, what, 30, 40 years ago that she did that?
I think so, yeah.
So she's left an amazing legacy for actors, actresses, people that were watching her,
Yep.
just anybody in general. So she left a good life, but she left something that we can all admire.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
if you want to watch some really funny interviews with her, check out the Late Late Show when Craig Ferguson was hosting. Those two are amazing together.
yeah,
That I might actually just rewatch those interviews myself.
yeah,
But yeah, she was on that show so much, and I remember specifically there was a skit that they did together where Betty White like jokingly said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna run for office, or I'm gonna run for Senate, or this or that." And of course, the crowd went wild. I was like, "Yay, Betty! Yay, run! Hoot hoot!"
Yeah.
And then Craig's like, "I actually have some concerns about your campaign advertisement." She's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, your latest poster is kind of concerning." She's like, "How?" And he brings out from like underneath the desk, like a picture of her face, red, white, and blue coloring, like very patriotic. But then above her face said white and below power.
damn, damn.
So yeah, the sense of humor on that woman, I think, was a characteristic of hers, I think, which is acknowledged but not fully appreciated.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen her in Golden Girls, so, that might I hate to say this, but it's just like you always become more famous after you die, but...
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
like
Golden Girl prices are going to go up.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is actually going to make me want to go watch Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Because my mom loved that show. I mean, I've watched some bits of it, and it's hysterical.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth the watch. But I just, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, death's always come in 3.
Yep.
So we had this, 2017?
Yeah.
2018? I don't know. Whenever Alan Rickman passed away, that was a bad year.
That was a bad year.
Yeah, right there.
Right there. Actually, I want to, there's a chalk in here.
There's a chalk in here. There's a kitty.
I actually want to share something that she said, which was at the end of this article, I believe. It is, oh shit, where'd it go? Yeah. Crush on Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Yeah. Buddy. And then get up there.
It was powerful because it's completely applicable.
Yeah.
A life dedicated to animals, there it is. Shit, I don't see it.
Maybe it wasn't this one.
Maybe. I won't dig through the articles, but she basically said something along the lines of, people need to realize the beauty it is to being able to live in life in the present, because before you know it, it's gone.
Yeah.
It was something along those lines, which I feel is absolutely applicable to all of our lives.
Yeah.
Anyway, we won't ramble on much more on Betty White. Probably later on with tonight's stream.
Yeah. There might be, like, we're holding back the tears right now, but I think it's just because it's such recent news that it hasn't just quite
hit
it. Like, I want to cry, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm still strong enough to hold it back.
Hey, here's to you, Betty White. Thank you for everything you've done and just who you are.
Beautiful lady.
So, on to the podcast. Yeah. 2021. Hell of a year, huh?
A little bit.
I know where to begin, but I also don't.
I mean, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, for me especially,
You
financially,
start. Yeah, you start.
it's start of the year. I started to become a lot more financially stable.
Yep.
And was able to keep that through probably up until about August.
Yeah.
And then I left the job that I had, that I actually got back in October of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left that job October of this year.
Yep.
And just because it no longer became financially stable enough, I was only getting paid an hourly wage. It was like hourly wage plus commissions, and those commissions made the job livable.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden we didn't have anything to sell. But it was a different story from the year prior when I started working, that we still had stuff to sell.
Mm-hmm.
We were sold out all the way till February of this coming year.
Yeah. Dear God.
So I wasn't going to sell anything because nobody's looking. So it became something where I was like, this is just not going to be financially stable enough for me. I was also at the time, because I was initially going to try to keep the job and stay and do part-time so that I could focus on my other endeavors that I wanted to in my life. Mm-hmm. That was initially a part of it, but I did a 2-week vacation in the beginning of October, and I came back to my job doing part-time. I worked one day, and I came home, and I just said to you, I said, I don't want to go back.
Yeah. They
don't appreciate me. I took a 2-week vacation. I was able to see my grandparents during that time, and I never felt appreciated at this work because they asked me, what did you do for your vacation? And I said, oh, I did this, and I got interrupted in the middle of saying the first thing that I wanted to say.
Wow.
I didn't feel appreciated. And that was my first day back. That is the literal difference that management can make, is to actually sit down and listen to what your coworkers did over their vacation. What did they do to relax? That's actually something that management can take in to maybe learn to be like, oh, maybe this is something we can do, as a company together. We can, go visit a city together, go to an amusement park or whatever, that way it's a relaxing thing. But they don't do that. And I got interrupted while I was saying, oh, I got to visit my grandparents. It wasn't a phone ringing. It was just them talking over me. So I no longer have respect for that management, justifiably. And I came home and I said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go back tomorrow. And plus they'd fucked my schedule up, making it so that I could never make commissions. Even if I were part-time.
That's right, I forgot.
They were having me move around all these offices, which means I'm never going to get commission ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So, fuck that.
Like, even the offices that were as equally booked as the one that you were primarily working in.
Yes. They were, in fact, more so.
Yeah.
But the fact is, that means I'm not going to get any commission anymore.
No.
And so, right there, I was like, yep, nope, don't want to do it. Because even part-time, I could have made commission. But having to be moved around to different offices, I'm not going to be able to.
No. You'd just be picking up leads for other people.
Exactly. I mean, I could probably get shared, but that's going to be chump change.
Yeah.
For whatever. But, so, quit that. We literally, next day, he brought in both, because he worked for the same company, different position, but
yeah.
Sent in both of our resignation letters, was waiting actually to hand it to somebody, but he waited till, 8:05, 8:10?
Yeah, around there.
Meanwhile, the office opens at 8:30 in the morning, and no management showed up.
No management, not one.
Even early enough to be something where, oh yeah, give this to you. So he had to drop it off on someone's desk.
Yeah, allegedly, Big Boss Man was coming in too, so you would think they'd be gung-ho come in early, but no, not one.
Yeah.
So if Big Boss Man did come in, the first news they had out of their mouth was, well, we lost 2 more.
Yeah. And I wouldn't recommend anybody working for that company unless you're okay with dealing with a whole lot of bullshit and gaslighting. It was just a bad place. I dealt with him more than he did. He at least was able to stay away from management for the most part.
Yeah, I did my own thing. It was nice while it lasted, but it was repetitive and mind-numbing and dumbing.
So, left that job, but we left that job because, well, he actually got the job first to become field underwriters, insurance brokers, essentially.
Yeah, essentially.
And that was October, was studying to get our license, got our license.
God, the cramming we did, holy shit.
Yeah, I know, it was insane. But got our licenses end of October and started doing just company stuff.
Yep.
Studying for like what the company values are and all that stuff. But yeah, we had a bit of a financial rough patch because of, yes, we quit the job.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna be good financially if I kept the job. So well, it's a lot of a roller coaster because we were doing good, but I was dealing with a lot of bullshit. I was actually told I was going to get promoted back in May, but then that manager left.
Out of nowhere.
And then a new manager came in, and basically a month later, after I'd been, told that I was being trained to become assistant manager of some sort, that they no longer wanted that position, and here's this, you're going to be this. And I asked, okay, well, if I'm doing all this, am I going to get any better pay? No. So I lost respect in early July from the company because of that. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And they said, well, you have a little bit of time to think about it. And I was like, okay, cool. They said they wanted an answer by September, October. Well, I quit.
Yep.
And I actually, sometime in September, I told him I was going part-time. He was like, well, you know that you're not going to be able to do that position. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Why would I want to work 3 jobs while getting paid for 1?
Yeah. No extra percentage in commissions. No extra hourly wage. Nothing. So, fuck that. No. I'm not going to deal with that. If you're sitting there trying to use my talents but not going to pay me any better, fuck you. Like, I'm good. I was good at that. No, I was great at that job. And I trained people. So fuck you if you think that you can pay me the same while making me do more work. So.
I mean, in hindsight, because of course it's 2020, you probably should have denied that position right off the get-go.
I should have. But, thinking about it, I'm like, well, that's why, they gave me time to think and maybe I could adjust some things or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I first asked, they said, well, we don't know if you'll get any more pay. We'd have to ask. That's something that we would have to discuss when you accept the position. And then a month later, I asked, and they were just like, yeah, it's going to have to be the same thing for right now.
Yeah, that's the catch for right now.
Okay. How long is for right now going to last?
Yeah.
No, don't accept a new position without anything better offered on the table. If they're going to say, oh yeah, new position and more job duties, but same pay, fuck you.
Yeah, make sure it's in writing.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
So whatever, it just a lot of disillusionment with the company. But yeah, financial issues. It's like we've roller coastered financially, we've roller coastered with jobs.
Yep.
But yeah, I think as far as I feel like job wise that's kind of like the negative part of the year. But yeah, we got a new job. Okay, new job's great, no, but it's taken time.
Yeah.
It's taken almost way too much time to get into even making money.
Yeah.
Because our current job is, solely commission based. Yeah, that's where it sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone can sit there and, say, oh, yeah, well, that's the reason why. Because it's commission-based. No wonder you're not making any money. But...
Which, you're not wrong. We don't disagree to that.
Yeah. But with the people that we have on our side that work with this company, I mean, our mentor made, like, the top 10 people of the entire company.
Oh, yeah, she did.
With how much she made this month.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah, literally.
So, yeah. So she knows, and I think it honestly depends with this company. How long, because I think a lot of people said, oh, like, I tried it for 3 months and I didn't get anything. And I think it takes time. I would honestly recommend, if you're going to try this job, get a part-time job.
Yeah.
On the side while you're trying to do this. Because I honestly, we should have, I don't know. Part of me was like, maybe I should have kept, but I wouldn't, I couldn't be there.
No, you'd be drunk every evening.
Yeah, I would. But.
And I say that honestly, not like, oh, you'd be drunk. No, it was mentally incapacitating her to the point where
we were going through tequila really quickly.
Yeah, she would text me in advance. She was like, I'm on my way home. Have shots ready.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Mind you, we haven't had a whole lot of tequila shots since we have worked there.
Nope.
So clearly toxic environment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
our lime purchases has gone down.
Yeah, I purchased limes. Hopefully they aren't bad already, but
we'd have to check.
Yeah, maybe we'll be doing tequila shots this evening. I don't know.
That's fine. It's been a while.
But job is slow moving. But this week has actually proved to be a little bit of a hell of a. I will say hell of a positive.
This week has been good.
For it, it's slow, yes, but. We're talking with our mentor, and I mean, basically what she's trying to get us to do, it sounds like we're gonna get a decent one out of this first one.
Okay.
I need to do more research for it.
Because we take our job seriously. Because it's not just us. Like, yeah, we get paid when we sell a policy, sure, a portion of it, but it doesn't come out of our clientele's pocket. It comes out of the insurance companies.
Yes.
That is the most important thing. We do not make money off of our clientele directly.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with our clients, they pay the first monthly premium. There's no down payment.
No.
Nothing like that. They pay the first monthly premium. That's it. Which could be, $20. But generally our commission is based off of the total annual premiums.
Mm-hmm.
So the 12 premiums that will be paid. And we will get paid like a certain percentage of that. And that we'll get paid a certain percentage of there's like 2 percentages that we go through with it. But then at the end of the year, 9 months from the time that we sell it, or 9 to 12 months after, we generally will get an extra bonus.
Right.
For doing that.
Yeah. So long as the people that we sell said policy to keeps up with their monthly premiums.
Yeah. And so we're actually getting that now. We actually have like 4 or 5 people that we're trying to talk to.
Yeah.
Which is great, because I mean that's better than the beginning of this week when we had 1, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of been our year, ups and downs, mental health wise, for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is all you. This is your overall broadening of the year from your perspective, from your view.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Like job wise, mental health wise, like just this past year, like. What has it been for you?
Mental health has been all over the fucking board.
Because I also have, when I share my side of this year, I have an arc, to say the least.
Yeah. I don't.
No? No arc for you?
What do you mean? What's my arc? What do you mean arc? Huh?
That's for you to decide. Like like, for example, my arc has been more on the incline of everything. Job prospect wise, mental health, like when I'm really thinking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I might be a little bit different than you.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
For me, I think it's again, it's a roller coaster for me, even mental health wise. Because I basically started out this year having to kind of deal with roommate here next to me.
Hi.
He'll probably talk about that.
I will. Without a doubt.
But he'll explain why I kind of had to slightly take care of him. Not like take care of him like, oh, I had to change his diaper or anything like that. But no,
just...
it was a concern.
Yeah.
That was happening. But mental health, I was doing pretty okay. For the most part, I wouldn't say that, like, I mean, there were happy times, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Generally away from the job.
Yes.
But I will say that I actually hit my lowest point that I've ever been in quite a long time. Actually, earlier this month, late November into December.
Yeah.
And I don't really think it hit me until sometime in December. I got really depressed. I would wake up, I would sleep for like 10 to 12 hours, and I'd wake up and I'd still be tired and I'd still want to sleep. I think one of my worst days was I think I was only awake for like 8 hours.
I think even still to this day, you haven't really like shared a whole lot with me.
No. I'm still getting out of it. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, and I'm not as worse off as what I was.
No, I've noticed more pep in your step.
Yeah. It's still taking me for fucking ever to do laundry.
Mental health sucks.
Yeah. It's like, I'm like 3 weeks behind on laundry. I'll get to it.
Like, the only thing that I request as of right now is I need more boxers.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think there's some in the dryer, but...
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Okay, fine. After this, I'm going to do laundry. God damn it.
I just need one or two more. I'll be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, depression really, it took hold. I tried to fight it and nope, it wanted to hang on.
Yeah.
I still really don't know really for sure why. I'll be honest, and this might be a slight morbid comment to say, there was a few moments of contemplating suicide. Mm-hmm. Just because I felt that low. It sucked.
Yeah.
And I've never really had that, like, a depression that I couldn't pinpoint. So I think that was what was bringing me down even further, was that I just couldn't pinpoint it.
Yeah.
I still really can't. But now I'm just like, okay, maybe it was just chemicals in my brain. We're just not happy. So whatever. I'm now just trying to like stay on the positive side of things. Just trying to remind myself that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, even though it might be the size of a needle point. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's kind of hard.
It's there, it's beaming, you just gotta go towards it.
Yeah. So, means you gotta wake up in the morning, means you gotta keep moving.
Gotta make that bed.
Yep. So, yeah, I wouldn't even say even right now that I'm even really all that happy. I think it's gonna take me a little while to get out of this funk.
I think something that is helping you is exactly what you did today.
What did I do today?
You did your job.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I've been making these dials. I've been trying to talk to people to no avail, and I know that every single time I came back and I said, yeah, I talked to people, but nothing locked in. That was just more time of you doing nothing, and probably, potentially, I'm just observing, just feeling more useless.
I mean, it's not so much that I feel useless, because I could be doing a whole lot of things while I'm not getting anything.
That's very true.
But it's more or less like, I don't know how to describe it. It's honestly just a legit depression where you just wake up and it's not so much useless. It's just no energy.
No motivation.
No motivation. I mean, like, I had some motivation, but the shitty thing about me is that, okay, I want to be an author. I haven't written on a page in a long time.
It's been a while.
But the shitty thing about me is that my motivation actually comes in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Yeah, that does. There would be...
Because, like, over the holidays,
yeah.
I was staying up with him because I was like, well, I'm organizing the 2,000 stickers that I've decided to order.
Yeah.
So I was organizing that stuff.
Yep.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I was awake the entire day. I took about an hour of a nap because crazy shit. But after my nap, I could have done it then. And I could have gone to bed at a normal time.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
That is not how my brain works. My brain is like, okay, we wake up at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Then you stay up. Okay, you might get a little tired, so take a little bit of a nap. Cool. Do that, and then you're up for a while. And then you might start to feel a lull, probably around midnight, 1 o'clock. Maybe even earlier. Sometimes I think it happens like 11 to midnight.
Yeah.
There's just that lull of like, oh, I could probably go to bed.
Yeah,
but then there's just some random little bug
yep.
that just gets plugged in at some point, and then I could go to 6 a.m.
Yep. Like there's been times where we're streaming and she's like, hey, you keep going, I need to lie down.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine. Go for it.
And there's just that lull in that little time period, but then I lie down for like 20, 30 minutes and I'm fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's just, I hate that most of my motivation and inspiration for things comes at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Like, actually, that reminds me of a little bit, like, just a passage within, like, the first or second season of Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the kitchen, and Peter made some sort of quip, some sort of snap, joke to Lois, I think. And Brian was like, wow, Peter, did it take you all night in order to come up with that? And he's like, I get my stride between 3 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I think that's the same for you.
Yeah. It's just my brain just all of a sudden, it can actually function. And I don't know, maybe that's the reason why I think I have insomnia. Maybe I honestly need to be
more of a night owl.
More of a night owl, and I sleep, basically, I mean, that's the thing is, like, for me, I could actually probably sleep in. I could probably go to bed at, like, 4 a.m. and then wake up at noon.
Yeah.
And then be ready to go.
That's something that I've thought about a lot, because considering our job, we quote-unquote make our own hours despite the company potentially dictating when and how we do so.
A tad, yeah.
But fuck them. But ancestrally speaking, there were people, and it was commonly accepted, this person sleeps during the day, this person sleeps during the night. Yeah.
And it even went by who was comfortable with that.
Right. So the fact that society nowadays is like, no, everyone needs to sleep at the night and wake up during the day, when we still have midnight workers who are potentially forced to work that schedule when they're not actually genetically suitable for that.
Yeah. Some of them are.
Some. Absolutely.
Yeah, I knew some that were definitely capable of doing third shift.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think I'm capable of doing third shift. I'm somewhere in between second and third.
I think if we are able to make the money that we want through this job and through other means, we will be able to create our said schedules that is best for our genetic composition.
Yeah. And I honestly think mine, unfortunately, is go to bed between 4 and 5 a.m. and wake up in between noon and 1.
That's fine.
I honestly feel like it's that, but I mean, I could probably get it back to a normal, like a more normal human schedule.
Quote unquote human.
Yeah, whatever. Like I know I could because I used to.
Yeah.
But I honestly think at this point that it's just trying to figure out what your body wants.
Yeah.
And I know that for me, I really don't like. I don't like sleeping, to noon and 1 o'clock, especially in winter, because it gets, around this time, because we had the shortest day of the year.
Yep.
Sunset was like at 5:30. So if I wake up at 1, I only get 4.5 hours of light.
Yeah, that was a little nutto.
That's a little awful.
Yeah.
So, but that's the other thing is you can also take supplements, like vitamin D supplements.
Yes.
To help
Yep.
counteract that. So
people in Alaska love their vitamin D.
Yeah. So that's something I was thinking, well, okay, maybe this actually needs to be the thing where I actually take that. I mean, there's going to be times when you and I are going to have to wake up early, like the summer job.
Yes. Well, I mean, I look forward to that anyway. But...
Yeah. But that's something where it's...
I mean, I look forward to that so long as we don't find a dog in the middle of the road.
Yeah, that too, If
I already talked about that on the podcast and on stream, so
yeah,
look back to previous episodes if you want to know what the hell we're talking about there.
Depressing. But
It's not great. Anyway.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster for mental health, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah. It's been one hell of a year. It's been one hell of a past couple of years that has actually felt like a decade.
Yeah.
In all honesty, it's felt like a decade has passed, but we made it through.
Yeah, I always think back to the SNL. Not SNL. It was the Late Show with the current host.
Colbert?
No. I'm sorry, the Late Late Show.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't say his name.
Yeah, Broadway dude.
Yeah.
He did that skit of One Day More parody.
Yeah.
There is a quote or a line, just a single line within that, because they were talking about January 2020, and they said, "What a year this month has been."
Yeah.
I take that throughout this entire past 2 years.
Yeah.
What a year this month has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, this past month has been what a year this month has been.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been a lot longer
it's
than
been a long
God,
time.
it's like what is February, this coming February going to be like? Because I always feel like February, the shortest month of the year, also the longest month of the year.
Why is Black History Month February?
I don't know.
Anyway, that's a different topic.
That's a different topic. Yeah.
So I guess it's my turn then, huh?
Yeah. I guess just... Yeah. I don't know. Longest month of the year, and right before the year's end, we lose Betty White.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
But
the one comment that I was going to say before
go
you
ahead.
go,
please.
Was with Betty White's death. I was like, isn't this kind of foreboding that she dies before the next year?
Oh, well.
Should we not?
Yeah, she knew when to go.
She knew. Something tells me she knows something.
She knew when to go.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, does she know?
What does she know? What did she know?
Yeah. I'm like...
We need to contact her agent. What did she know?
Yeah. We're like, did she know something we didn't?
Tell us she knew something the government is now.
Yeah. But that's all I was going to say. It was just like, was her death like foreboding and telling us that don't go. Don't go. Just don't go. Don't go into next year. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
But
it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right,
me. I'll try to make this quick. I won't say quick. I mean, I'll say what it is, but I know that the job thing is a lot less than the mental health thing.
He's also been chiming in on mine, so
yeah, that's true.
You can fill in blanks where I didn't say anything about you.
Yeah, that's fine. So basically, last year, technically, way past this point now, I graduated from Indiana University Jacobs School of Music, and I got my master's degree in music performance with the French horn. Huge accomplishment, because amongst my immediate family, I am the first one to have made and earned my master's degree. The only other person that is living right now who has their master's degree is my aunt, but she has her master's in hotel management, which she's no longer using. Something about that, about graduating and not having school in front of me and not really having a job lined up in front of me. Like, I say job, like I had a job. It was voice acting. It was narration for an audiobook series. But the lack of structure, I suppose, which surrounded it from what I was used to for about 25 years of my life, just kind of really put me down. Not only with that, but just also demons of my past, of how I treated people, past relationships, and past actions. I held that in for so long. For some reason, once I graduated IU, that all just came out. And for the worse.
Because your education was your block.
Yeah.
To being able for you to be mentally healthy.
Yeah. Essentially.
Shockingly enough.
From 2008 to 2018, I basically did nothing but date one girl to the next, almost in complete succession. I never really learned about myself. And I took the beginning of those steps when I was in graduate school, but I didn't dive deep into it. And it wasn't until 2020 that I did. And thank God I did. Honestly, I think if I didn't, I probably would have...
2020 or earlier this year? So you didn't start therapy until earlier this year.
Earlier this year, yeah. But in 2020, I was taking some sessions with the...
Yes. Late 2020, but yeah.
Yeah, late 2020. So that...
Sorry. Sorry.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
None of you will know that. Sorry. Mm-hmm. It's a pun between us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was taking sessions through the university because it was free at the time, but it wasn't like heavy involved. It was periodic, and it wasn't until I graduated and I found a community program which provided mental health services that I was actually able to commit since February, like early, don't know specifically when my first session was with my current therapist.
About mid-February.
Mid-February? Yeah. It wasn't until mid-February, 2 sessions a week, till now, to the best of our ability, because life happens and holidays, etc., etc. But 2 sessions a week, coming up for 11 months, have I been doing therapy. And it has been an extreme saving grace. What she was talking about earlier about me being a concern was an absolute truth. And I'm not going to deny it. I know what I was, I know how I was feeling, and I know that it was harmful, not only to myself, but I feel bad and I'm sorry that she had to deal with it. She would come home every so often from work, from already working from a toxic environment, to come home to me being essentially drunk and emotional in my studio, not having recorded any type of chapters or narration from my audiobook just because I couldn't bring myself mentally to do so. Physically, I was awake, but mentally, I was more than 1,000 miles away within self-deprivation and negativity. So, not only was I getting... hey, you need to feel better, what's going on from my family, from her, but also from my work at the time, which was recording that audiobook. And it took me until it took 6 months of therapy or something.
Yeah.
In order to actually be like, okay, I actually feel as if I can be productive.
Well, you were recording at one. You did start recording, but you didn't finish.
Yeah.
It took you a while, but then right towards the end, you were starting to crank some shit out.
Yeah, I forget exactly when. Like, I could go look through my Discord, but I
I think you
remember.
turned everything in July.
Yeah, I remember talking to my boss like early May. I said, hey, this is going on. I'm taking therapy sessions twice a week. I am borderlining becoming an alcoholic. I am now finally able to have my sleeping disorders under proper management, which caused a lot of my sleep deprivation, which unfortunately just locks hands with depression. So I have a new CPAP machine. I am back on medication for my restless leg syndrome. Sleeping is now managed. My mental health is coming back. This is where I am right now. He even had to take a step back. I think during our conversation, it was like a 20-minute period of him just like trying to think like, what do I say to this? Because this is obviously serious. After that conversation with him, a month and a half later, that audiobook was done. The last weekend of recording, I cranked out. How many chapters did I crank
13, I think.
Yeah.
It was like 6 one day, 7 the other. Or I don't even know. It was a lot.
It was a lot. Like, and after I completed it, the recording and the editing, and I submitted it, and I typed up my invoice, which took 4 times.
There was like every single time you'd get like, you'd be like, oh no, you gotta correct that, and then it'll be fine. You'd correct that, but then something else would get changed.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Or the math wasn't right.
Yeah.
And then she just, I don't know if she physically facepalmed, but I'm sure mentally she did. She's like,
oh no, I know I actually physically facepalmed, and I was just like, dude.
Frank, you this.
Exact.
Fuck. So, I completed my second audiobook. And we both exhaled. We both had a shot of celebration, like, because that was a huge breaking point for me mentally.
And he was ready to go for another one. But...
I'm still ready to go right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was beginning to record the third audiobook, and I noticed translation error a bit. At least something that makes sense on paper when you're reading it, but audiobook form did not. Brought out to them the second higher up. He said, oh man, I gotta talk to the first higher up. Just cancel all production till then. Well, since then, which was about 3-4 months ago now.
It was back in August that you said that, early August.
Yeah. Nothing has come forth. And it's because there is now, it has been announced officially amongst that website, and I'm sure a follow-up has come along, which I need to read. I just haven't checked. But there was internal dealings, like financing, like helping them, what have you, which is good for the company. But as a result of those wheelings and dealings, almost everything has been put on hold. So that third audiobook may or may not actually happen. I don't know, as a result of them getting financed, that they're going to bring me back. I don't know if it's under new management. I don't know where I am as far as the chopping block goes. Yep. So as a result of that stagnant in work and potential pay, which that last audiobook, I don't remember how much I got paid. I got paid at least $2,000.
Yeah, it was $2,000, $2,100, around there.
Yeah. So, I needed a job. And luckily, where Shelby was working, they were desperate for people to fill in roles. I took on a role of just essentially being a cleaner at the main office and one of the sub offices. Mm-hmm. Did that for a while, as she said. Had her vacation, worked one day. She said, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, if you want to type up your resignation, I'll type up mine. You and I are in this together.
Yep.
So that's why we both quit the exact same day. And very shortly after, I found the job that we currently have. And like she said, took some time to get into it, took some mental capacity, myself again. Anxiety to overcome and to really start going for it. But now that we're in it, and something that I brought out my notes, which the company for full-time people recommends that you make 250 to 300 calls a week.
They call them dials.
Dials.
Yeah.
This past week, I have made a little less than what I thought I did, but 144 dials.
Is that plus last week?
I believe so, yes. It was the past 4 dial sessions that I did. So I need to double check that number and maybe
Monday,
more.
Tuesday, Thursday, today.
Yeah, so it's not last week.
So you need to add last week's on there.
So it will be over 150. But why do I mention that? Is because my very first dial session, I don't know why. First dial session went great. Second dial session, I literally only made 1 dial just because I was I was physically shaking. Yeah. Like I was nervous.
You just gotta do it.
Yep. I've been working on it. I got confidence now, and it helps that I rewrote the schedule to a way that I feel is appropriate for myself to say.
The script. The script,
yeah. Yes. So that was work-wise. We're here now. Also work-wise, work, quote-unquote, not work. The fact that we picked up streaming a lot more.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've made affiliate now on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. That's great. I never thought. But here we are.
Also, I do plan on streaming at some point. I'm still in my I'm nervous to do it type stuff because I don't really have a whole lot of games.
Yeah.
So I might not stream as frequently as he does. But I will probably still try to stream. It might be every other day, just do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, something I don't even know.
Yeah.
Just something where, I'm out there, I'm doing some things.
Yeah.
One of the streams will probably be a mixology thing.
That'd be cool.
But I just don't play as many games. I enjoy watching them. Clearly, I sit here and I watch him play.
Yeah.
But I just don't have as many yes, most of the games that he's playing, I do want to play myself. Mm-hmm. I am so ADD that I think if I were to have a schedule like his, that I don't know that I could do it.
Yeah.
That's how high it can get at times for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. So mental health wise, like that's job wise, which obviously affected my mental health quite a bit. But mental health wise, like I was so goddamn low in the beginning of this year. And then I got my therapist. I got, my sleeping more manageable. So that started inclining my mental health. Completing the audiobook obviously helped. Realizing, I need a job. I was doing a cleaner's job. That wasn't great, but you know what? At least I knew that it was needed. And so that helped to balance out that mental health. And then lost the job, fine. Salute with middle fingers to that company.
Literally.
And getting this job, great. Getting licensed to sell insurance in the state of Indiana, great. Feeling good. Making the calls, that kind of dipped my mental health down a little bit, but now we're on the incline again. Yeah. And the fact that we're now talking with nearly a full handful of people who are interested in having policies written and explored by us, like that's great.
Yeah.
Not only are we helping people, we're also going to be potentially making money and just lead to more success and prosperity with us. As I said last night for my stream, if you weren't able to catch it, that's fine. I understand. But streaming and gaming, like as of right now, it's a hobby that I enjoy, a hobby that I love and that I'm passionate about just because of my upbringing and just always being connected with playing video games. But if it becomes a job, cool, great, I won't object. If it doesn't, cool, great, I won't object. It's just one of those scenarios where whatever happens with it, I'll be satisfied. The fact that I'm affiliate right now and am making money off of just ads or people watching, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I've that has been my year. That's like a very shortened rendition of my year, but it's been good. I've been picking up my instruments again. Like next year I want to dive back into my horn because I want to be able to play the Glier horn concerto just by myself and to my satisfaction.
Yeah.
So,
Funny enough, my musical ambitions are a little bit different, and I may actually need your help.
okay.
Beginning band method, the thing that I've always told you I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Beginning band method that focuses on the red-headed step instruments.
Yeah, without a
that
doubt.
don't get paid attention to, but yet are some of the most key instruments.
Yeah.
Bassoon and horn.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're both, I'm a bassoonist, he's a horn player.
Yep.
And I'm an education major, so I kind of understand how method books are formed and make sense.
Yeah.
And so that's one of those things, but that's going to be something that I feel like that'll be a little bit midway through the year.
Yeah.
I feel like, because I was doing a little bit of research on that, but you know, just we're interested in a lot of things, and we're getting back into them, and I think this job, once the plane gets off the ground here, we've at least started the engine and the propellers are going.
Yep.
Because that wasn't what was happening before. We were just sitting in the hangar not doing anything, or we were just tinkering with the engine.
Yeah, essentially.
Now that we got the engine running, we got the propeller going, now it's just time to start moving forward on that runway and get enough speed to take off.
Yep.
And I feel that in the first couple of months of this coming year, we're going to take off.
I think so.
I think it's going to be slow going, but I think once we get, there's just going to be that point. And I think that's when we're going to find that sweet spot. And if we do even more than that sweet spot, we're going to find that there's even a better sweet spot.
Yeah.
And I think that's right. Once we get to that better sweet spot, that's where it's going to just coast. I feel like I don't feel a whole lot of negativity towards this coming year. Like I do, but I don't, because
you're cautious.
I'm stepping into the new year very cautiously.
Yeah.
But I feel that this new year is gonna it's gonna bring some better things. We're both working out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna try to lose a little bit of weight so
Yep.
that we can just feel better about ourselves. And you know, just I feel like our financial prospects are going up. I feel that our mental health is going up. Definitely for you.
Yeah.
It's taken some time for me. But I'll get there. I know I will.
Yeah.
There's light. And then I think just, where was I going? Yeah, job wise, financial wise, and
Yep.
just even having fun wise.
Yeah.
Because I'm already kind of planning the next con that we go to.
Yeah, that'll be
But
fun.
we need a little bit of money
Mm-hmm.
so that we can go do it. Even I have a few things now that I actually want.
Yeah.
When we go there, which means we better find a damn close parking garage, because some of the things I want are actually stuffed animals.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But stuffed Pokemon, to be specific.
Damn. Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
But
let
we're on the up and up.
me ask some random questions then.
All right.
This past year, what do you think was your lowest or your most negative transcrepancy that happened?
I don't know what transcrepancy is. I feel like that's a mix of like
Transcription?
That's like mix of like three different words there, bud.
Event.
The lowest event.
Yeah.
Good God.
There. Transgression. That's what I wanted.
Like transgression that I committed or somebody committed to me?
Someone committed to you. Like, well, what do you think was either your lowest point or the most negative thing that happened?
I mean, it's going to be two different answers for me.
Okay.
I feel like my personal lowest point has been this past month.
Okay.
Begin like first couple of weeks of the month was, for me personally, the absolute lowest that I've actually felt in like a decade.
Sure.
So that's why it took me by surprise, because I thought I was done with that crap.
Yeah.
But then probably the next, I'd say either the next lowest or just what happened to me I would honestly say I can't remember specifically when, but I know that it was at some point during the busy season in my job.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably July, early August. I think probably July, actually. I think I'd had it. And that was when I was coming home and having tequila shots like every day.
Yeah.
Just because of, I think even when that job was offered to me, I already knew it was shit. Even though there was that potential that it could be good.
Yeah.
That they weren't willing to guarantee.
Yeah.
But I think I deep down knew that was ass.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that would be what somebody did to me. I think that was probably the next lowest. I have a third, but
yeah.
I have a third, but that happened earlier in the year for me, and that was also personal. I don't know. We had an entity in the house. That's all I can really say.
Yeah.
An entity that actually took control of my mind and made me do something to me that I don't want to ever do. Didn't want to do it then and don't want to do it now.
All right, so most positives. Opposite.
Most positive.
Positive.
Quitting the job.
That was a good point.
Yeah, my whole vacation basically leading up to this is actually what you should be doing. This is actually how you should be feeling about yourself. Yeah.
Yep.
Quitting the job. But then I would also say, yes, unfortunately, that job did bring some level of financial stability.
Yep.
And then I would say probably my third one would probably be you making affiliate. That was actually pretty damn exciting for me.
I have another one for you.
Oh, what?
You beginning your YouTube channel.
Oh, my mixology career. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot to be positive about. What about you?
Positive or negative first?
Negative. Let's end on positive.
All right. Negative for me would probably, like the lowest I've probably been in my life, was probably late February, early March. I feel that's when my depression was at its worst.
No.
Just because, when I started going to therapy, I was like, oh yeah, I guess it's you and me. And then we start diving in, and once you start uncorking that cap, it gets a little bit worse. Mm-hmm. So I think once we start uncorking, that's when I was at my lowest. Something that someone else did to me, I don't know. People kind of left me alone, or at least, like, people wasn't affecting me too much. It was just me that was affecting me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose, like, because the one comment that I've told many people is that the job that we both quit.
Yeah.
They tried to get you to
do
something for them for free, but you are a talented voice actor narrator.
I thank you.
So why would they think that they could pay you, that they could not pay you?
Yeah, this was something that I actually discussed during one of my previous podcasts. The previous job wanted me to do their voicemail messaging, like the narration for their voicemail for the entire company, or at least for that segment of the company, for free. And the maintenance manager actually approached me and said, hey, do you want to do the voicemail? I'm like, how much are you going to pay me? And it took him by surprise. He's like, well, how much do you want? I said, well, it depends on how long the voicemail is going to be in order. He's like, well, indefinitely. Like, oh, $5,000.
Yeah.
And of course they were taken aback. They're like, $5,000? Why? I said, well, considering that I am not an amateur, considering that my voice is marketable, and considering the length that the voicemail will be implemented with my voice, and my voice is my property when it is recorded, you have my permission to use it indefinitely for a lump sum of $5,000.
Yeah.
They did not like that.
Nope.
So yeah, that's a good point. That's a fair point.
that was just, I mean, not necessarily how you felt. I mean, it did kind of it made you pissed off.
Yeah, it did.
But it was just one of those, like, what's the worst thing somebody did to you this year? And I honestly think that.
That, it was just so insulting.
Yeah, it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, you go and get married and you want to pay, like, this, I even talked about this with someone else. It's like, you're going to go get married and you're going to get a wedding band.
Yeah.
Like, not wedding band for your finger, but like a band that plays music.
Right.
You know, at your reception. And a lot of people think of like, oh yeah, $1,000, you know, for them to sit there for 5 to 6 hours. I mean, 4 to 5, I don't even know. But, you know, you're just going to be there probably, you know, starts at 6. If you got married at like 3 o'clock, starts at 6 and probably goes till midnight.
Yeah.
You know, and you're wanting to pay the band $1,000 for 6 hours of playing. But you forget that they don't live together more than likely.
Yep.
So they're going to have to travel to go to rehearsals. So, oh yeah, that's right. They may have to get some music. Because you might be requesting something that they don't have the music for just yet. Or they might have to arrange that music just for you. And then also 6 hours. $1,000. Mind you, a good band is probably going to be 4 to 5 individuals.
Yep.
So you're going to pay each individual $200 for 6 hours of work, plus rehearsals, plus arrangement, potentially, of pieces. That is ass.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with voice acting, narration. It's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, you came up with a script, he now has to say it, but now his voice is going to be used. Somebody may hear that voicemail, hear his voice in the voicemail, like, I like that voice, and then want to call and figure out who the hell was talking. Like, seriously. It's like commercials. You do the commercial, but then you get royalties from the commercial.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's the same thing with voicemail. So whatever, somebody else ended up recording it, he can lose out on the money for it. Also, he doesn't have that good of a voice anyway, so.
No. So those would probably be my negatives. My positives, at least as of this year, committing to therapy, without a doubt. Completing my second audiobook, even though it's not published. At least it was completed. I got paid for it. Getting a job, losing the job. Quitting the job, rather.
Yeah.
Getting another job, making affiliate, and getting back into my musicality.
Yeah.
I think those would be my positives. So, last thing before we end this, goals for next year. Any New Year's resolutions?
Oh, yeah, working out so I can lose weight. I have a goal set in mind, to lose some weight, just to get back to where I felt better about myself. Ironically, back when I did to the goal weight that I want to be, I didn't feel good even then. But I have a different mindset now.
Yeah.
And I know my body type has also just changed too.
Yeah.
in that time. So lose a little bit of weight. So just be a little bit more active with things.
Eat a little bit better.
Eat better. Honestly, just remember to take time for myself. Yes, this job, it's a job. It makes us money. But the thing about the title of the company we work for is all about symmetry in life. Between job and, well, life and family. And that's really, I want to find that balance. Because I do want to get back into playing music. That's another goal of mine, is to get, even if it's just playing piano. I want to get back in there, and I also want to start reading again.
I would like that too.
Yeah. Even if it's just something basic.
Yeah.
But
read those comic books we have.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is comic books. But yeah, I think that's pretty much my goals. Just get back into music, lose the weight, stay active, eat healthy. Read some books.
Yep.
But yeah.
And mine close side along with that. Work out, eat healthy, get back into reading, be more musically, dedicated.
Yeah.
But I also want to keep up with the schedule of streaming.
Yeah.
And I want to do better with this job.
Yep.
So I know that our goals align, but that's basically, they're not even resolutions. They're tasks.
They're tasks, they're goals. They're not resolutions of like, oh, I'm going to do this. It's just most of everything that we're wanting to do it's a goal, and then we have to maintain that.
Yeah. We got to maintain that and create that habit.
Yeah. Which we know we can do because we had it before.
Yeah.
And anything that was previously had can be gained anew.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I have positive thoughts for next year, but it's positive thoughts for myself. Against the world, I don't really have a whole lot of positivity with the world.
I don't want to think about the world.
Yeah.
I can't think about the world until I'm able to take care and think of myself.
Yeah. And, I mean, you're living in the world, so you're going to have to still, it's there. It's a back burner thought.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay much mind.
Yeah. I just, yeah, you know.
Yep.
I'm actually probably gonna get a little bit of cooped upness because I had a family member that got in contact with someone who had COVID, and then she visited me and my family on Christmas Day, the day after. So I am just already precautioning everything by staying home. And yes, yeah, okay, fine, he lives with me and he's going out, but mine was like secondhand or third-hand contact. At this point, it's going to be like fourth-hand contact with him.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure I'm fine.
And I'm sure I'm fine too. I haven't felt sick or anything like that. And the person that I was in contact with, she's got the booster shot.
Yeah.
So, and she's been keeping us updated. She's like, I don't feel it, so it's fine.
Yep.
But I'm just doing that, but I have to do that until the end of next week. Maybe I'll celebrate if we get some applications, and maybe I'll celebrate by going to Half Price Books.
There you go. That'll do it.
That's my weakness store.
Yeah, no kidding. But hey, I think that feels like a natural conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this past year has been interesting, but I think it has ultimately opened up doors for us. Mm-hmm. An opportunity, so.
I look forward to it. I personally.
Yeah. Here's the next year, and here's to remembering, but closing another chapter in our lives.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. That's the podcast. My guest here, QueenShelBeast, also known as Shelby. Platforms that you can find her on. What are those?
So those are all all of them. I'm going to be QueenShelBeast. But that's going to just be Queen spelled normally, and then ShelBeast, ShelBeast. Just the one L. But I can be found on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Some stuff are gonna be coming out this coming month. I have a goal in mind of when I want to get started and what I want to be doing. Okay. I do have a goal. I just got to solidify the individual items within those, but you'll be starting to see some stuff from me pretty soon.
Awesome.
And I look forward to it, and I look forward to becoming your budget bartender.
Hell yeah. Budget bartender. I love it. God, that name's perfect.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, I'm found here on Twitch at Fapism Plays. You are listening to the Frankly Speaking on Fridays podcast, which comes out every Friday. You can email the podcast at fsofpodcast@gmail.com. Please send in inquiries of topics of discussion, suggestions, questions, or if you just want to say hello, please do so at fsofpodcast@gmail.com. This podcast is streamed and premiered live on twitch.tv/fapismplays, uploaded to YouTube-user-fapismplays, and then is also found on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the Frankly Speaking on Fridays podcast. And as I always say, keep practicing no matter what it is, so long it doesn't hurt you or anyone else. Keep practicing. We're going to continue practicing enforcing positive and better habits for ourselves, but more importantly, positive mental attitudes for ourselves, for the future, because it's so easy to stray on the negativities of life, and it is, for some reason, so difficult to focus on the positive. And I think we all can take the time to focus more on the positive aspects of life that we're currently living in. Unfortunately, no matter what the situation, I'm sure there's at least 3 positives that you can name right now within your life. So, here's the end of 2021. Here's to 2022, and may we all prosper and be a little bit more happier of what the outcome may be. So, thank you again for joining me. Thank you for the cats for being in my lap and on the chair. And thank you for watching, listening. Appreciate your support. And you know what? We will see you all next year on January the 7th. Yes, indeed. Or at least you'll hear me. Anyway, good night, everyone. Happy New Year's. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. See you next week. And yeah, until then, keep practicing. Good night, everyone.